Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you the first section in Chapter 2 of my Castlevania Night Difficulty video walkthrough. And this level is called the Enchanted Forest. And at the start of this it's just going to be some light platforming, so watch what I do, follow it, and you shouldn't have any problems. And it's a pretty simple level, this. Chapter 2 is possibly one of the longest chapters on the game because there's a lot of sub-levels in it. But it's nothing too outrageous, it's nice and simple, so watch me get a little bit lost here and I forget where I'm supposed to be going because I didn't realise the camera just completely fucked me and hid the fact the path is over on the right. There you go. But instead of talking about Castlevania, because truth be told, you know, talking about this game is as fun as having sex with a sewing machine. If we fight any enemy like this, don't kill it with your cross, just grab it, spam the throw, it's dead simple, there's no challenge to it and you won't lose any life. I'm just a retard, so just excuse me on that. But I'm going to talk about a few other things, and because this is one of the more lengthier videos than the other ones, I'm going to talk about some films I've been watching recently, because the luxury of working, you know, ridiculous hours is at the end you get a little bit of time to yourself, where you want to chill down, you don't want to do something too strenuous, and to me that is sit and watch a film, or sit and watch a movie, as opposed to, you know, playing a game or anything like that. And I've watched a few in the last 3 days. I've probably watched about 6 films or something like that, last 3-4 days. And I generally do them in 2 film stints. And a lot of them have been horror films, so I've kind of surprised myself, because I am a fan of horror films. I'm just not the biggest fan, because truth be told, I watched a lot of horror films from a very young age, so I'm extremely desensitized to them. I had nightmares for years when I were a wee bairn, and now I'm, you know, all steely and evil and, you know, corrupted because of this. And the first one I watched was a film called Insidious, which is pretty new for anybody who's not heard of it, and it is, I think it's from the creators of Paranormal Activity and Saw. So it's James Wan who directs it. I think he wrote it as well. He also edited it, and there's a nice little cameo from Lee Whannell, who was the person who helped him write the original script for Saw. And first thing I'm going to say is I hated Paranormal Activity. I thought that was the most overrated, boring, bullshit, fucking unscary, ridiculously poor piece of shit horror film I've seen in probably the last 10 years. And the main reason for this is because that in itself is a film that if you do not believe in those characters and you do not get into the plot of that story, then you won't be scared. And all it turns into is an hour and a half of watching people talk about what happened at night and how creepy it was, when truth be told, as soon as it started getting tense or remotely creepy, it cut to the fucking day while they were brushing the teeth and cooking the dinner, and completely diffused all the tension that it had built up. So, not a big fan of Paranormal Activity. This film, however, has all the trimmings of a James Wan film, and if you don't really know his past work, obviously he did the original Saw. He also did, I think it's a film called Stygian, and he might have also done Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. I think he was associated with that. He might have directed it, and he did Dead Silence, I think it's called, the one where the old lady who made the puppets of human people, which were a pretty creepy one. I enjoyed that film, but Insidious is basically about a family whose child, who they move house, this family, and the kid falls into a coma. There's no external signs for why he's in a coma. Right now, what I'm trying to do, by the way, in the game, is I'm trying to jump up onto this ledge, because you can completely skip that fight, and I would advise that you do so, because most of the fights in this game are just a giant fucking nuisance, so make sure you skip them. But he falls into a coma, the doctors don't know why, and a lot of bad shit starts to happen around the house. The wife starts seeing things, she thinks she's hallucinating, there's all sorts of, you know, bad stuff going on, and they believe the house is haunted, so they move to another house, but it turns out it's the boy who's haunted and not the house. And there's a lot of plot twists. I'm not going to give anything away because I do think it's something definitely worth watching, but truth be told, when the film started out, I thought it was going to be like Paranormal Activity. It was very similar. It was focusing on their lives. They were doing the normal daily things, and then at night shit was happening that was a little bit strange and out of the ordinary, and I wasn't digging it. I was thinking it was going to suck massive dick, but it got a little bit further into it, it got a little bit more unconventional, and legitimately scary film. I really enjoyed it. I was very tense, I jumped a few times, and that is very rare when I watch a horror film, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, I would definitely watch it. It's got some ridiculously creative set pieces in it. In fact, the last section of the film where the father goes into a place called the Further is pretty much Alan Wake in movie form. It's pretty damn great, and it's really creepy, and I enjoyed it a hell of a lot. And the main antagonist in the film is this demon, this wicked one, or whatever it's called. And for anybody that's seen it will probably know and maybe disagree or agree with me, but for what it is, considering the makeup and the imagery and everything, and how it kinda looks a bit cheesy, the angles and the cinematography on some of the shots make it look a lot more intimidating than it is. And there's only one section which completely ruined it for me, which was where they used computer graphics to make it run across a wall, and it just looks ridiculous. It looks far too fast, and it just looks really fake, so that's a bit of a shame. But all in all, really good film, really tense, really different. I liked it a lot, so check it out if you're into that kind of thing. And I bounced from that film onto Scream 4. And right now you need to use these dudes who throw grenades at you to blow up that door over there. And sometimes you will get a grenade for killing them, but a lot of the times he just throws them away and they become little kamikaze bombs, so be careful of them or they will blow you up. But anyway, back to the film talk, because you know this shit is pretty standard. There's your grenade. Scream 4. I am a pretty old school Scream fan. I watched the original back when I was in high school or secondary school or big school, however you want to call it, back when I was about 11, 12, 13, and I liked it a lot. It scared me, it was interesting, it had the cool, you know, the dude in the mask who rings people up and fucks with them about films and stuff. It had a lot of cool things going for it. I thought the second film was kind of weak, but it was okay. I thought the third film was an absolute fucking abortion. I thought it was just horrific. It was just a goddamn train wreck. I hated it so bad. And the fourth one turns up, and I can safely say it's an interesting film. I would say as a standalone piece, it's a good film. It's very loyal and faithful to the source material. It's overly referential of itself. It's very self-aware. And it works to its credit. It brings a lot of the old characters back, and it does a lot of respect to the traditions of what a Scream film should be. A couple of things that are kind of weak. The deaths in the film aren't very creative. It doesn't have, you know, the iconic scenes that it did in some of the other ones, like the first one, especially with Drew Barrymore, which was just fucking timeless. If you've never seen it and you're interested in them kind of films, watch the start of Scream 1. Some of the most chilling and awesome, you know, setup to a film ever, you know, put down on film. But basically, it's faithful to the story. The start has one of the most ridiculously, you know, self-referential, almost hilarious intros, which is either pure genius or complete and utter dog shit. I can't decide. You'll have to watch it to see what I mean, because it's kind of weird. And the ending is so preposterous, it kind of killed the film for me. Because I'm not going to give too much away, but the person that turns out to be the killer, there is no fucking way that person could be tossing around grown men, grown women, and stalking them with the kind of fidelity that they do, because they just don't have the build. It's just preposterous. It's like, I know I'm probably overthinking this with it being a horror film, how they managed to, you know, fall to the ground, the main character looks away for a second, they look back and they've vanished, or how they take, you know, immense amounts of punishment and still carry on to try and murder people. But even so, garbage ending, didn't like it, not supporting it whatsoever, but decent film, check it out. That's the end of this level, people. Thanks for watching, you take care now.